was quite difficult for me, when I started working with my first job because everything was a challenge. First, the weather, also the language. There were only few phrases that I knew then, which were Govendag and Takfirir. Most Filipinos are very warm. They love to have conversations with just anybody, strangers, family. Here in Iceland, you value so much the personal space. I had a misunderstanding, thinking to myself that they're probably scared of me because, I'm a foreigner, I'm different. Of course, that was at that time because I really had no background whatsoever. When I worked in the kindergarten, I was also in shock because I was expecting that, there should be like a turnover. At least I would know, what my tasks are. On my first day, I was just sent to the kitchen and just stand there, and I was so lost. I thought all the while, there was supposed to be a training, I go to a classroom or something like, okay, these are your tasks, these are your responsibilities. What I did was that I just observed and, made the initiative, what I can do, what I can contribute. The challenging part of it also was that, communication. I totally understand, my colleagues then that, they would try to avoid to talk to me because I know they're shy in speaking English, and I totally understand that, and I respect that. I decided to stay there for a couple of years, but then, nothing has changed. It was still the same. I was just an outsider. Here comes the opportunity, at the hotel. So I worked as a housekeeper, and, it's really a physically demanding job. The nice thing about it is that I felt like a human being. My colleagues, they're foreigners, and at the same time, Icelandic people. They acknowledge my presence. Yeah, it was still the same when I started there. There was no formal training, no formal turnover of what you're supposed to do. You have no list of what your tasks were. So at that time I was thinking maybe it's probably the norm here. Then an opportunity came again. I was promoted to be the housekeeping manager. Then of course, there was a change in the management. I am so grateful because we have the same vision, and we have the same direction of how we want things to be done. Right from the start, I told Christian that, I want the working atmosphere in the housekeeping to be good in the sense that, because all of us are foreigners, I want them to feel that they have a family, because most of us don't have families here.
I basically be a guide as a snorkeling group or a dive group. So basically I bring people in the water to do the snorkeling tour and just show them around and keep them safe, of course. I moved here a bit more than 3 years ago. In January 2017, moved here straight from the Caribbean, back in Iceland, and start to do some job here. It's a really nice place, really nice country, lovely people. I moved here in Iceland with already the contract. So I was in the Caribbean, and a few of my co-workers, there was my student in the Caribbean working in this company, and a few of them, one of them was one of the managers. So just he liked the way I work, and yeah, so in case you want to change weather, just give me a call and we'll find the best place for you in Iceland. And here I am basically. I'm still working on the language, but that's basically the only thing. But luckily you guys can speak perfect English, so it might be easier if you work for an Icelandic company with Icelandic worker and local worker working there. Might be probably for sure it's getting easier and faster. But if you speak just few words here and there, you don't remember it.
Ég var komin frá Póllandi 2007. Byrjaði að vinna hjá bakkameistarinn 2007 hér líka, ég held það mars. Þá ég var að byrja að vinna eins og uppvaskikona og daginn í dag ég verslunarstjóri í 2 búðum. Ég var að byrja að tala ekkert íslensku, ég var að tala enska frekar, en ég var að læra í Mjóddin af því það rosalega margar eldri fólki var að koma til Mjóddin og sýna mér hvað á var að tala og alltaf útskýra hvað meinar þetta hitt og var svona. Mér finnst það var taka rosalega vel á móti mér.
Christian also suggested to have these courses, to improve because, some of the staff barely speak English, so communication was quite challenging for all of us. It boosts their confidence and it made them feel good about themselves. If the staff feels good about themselves, then the hotel gets the best from the staff. I would always encourage the staff to share their opinions about the work. If things could be done better, what are their ideas, If they are involved in the decision making, even if it's just small things, then they feel important, then they feel that they are part. Now in Hotel Fletter, when there is a new housekeeper, we have a mentor. This mentor will, be with the new staff and show what to do. These are, guidelines. And the mentor will be with his new staff for a week. And it makes a big difference because then we follow these standards,
The only thing I can say that is, as I said before, is just the language. Might be easier, if something happened in the company itself, like, small courses or something like that. Better, or the way to improve actually is just to try to move the course, Icelandic course, in the job basically.
Mér finnst Íslendingar, þau þarf tala aðeins betra skils og ef þau vilja við útlendingar gera eitthvað og þau veita kannski við ekki tala alveg nóg vel enska eða íslensku og ef eins og ég sagði við svara þá betra spyrja ef þú var búin á þessu, ef þú veit hvað sem þú á að gera og ef ég sjá á andlit þá þau ekki skilja alveg nóg hvað ég tala þá ég bara fara með og bara sýna hluti. Þú bara gera svona og svona, ekki bara senda sjálf og bara það var eins og Íslendingar alltaf segja að það reddi sig. Þú bara hlusta á meira og tala skil. En ég held að Íslendingar bara segja hvað svo fara, aldrei bara spjalla með fólki meira. Og líka eftir tala með fólki, tala og horfa á fólki, ekki bara eitthvað snúa við, bara tala eitthvað.
It's quite difficult to integrate the Icelandic language because our guests, when we interact with them, they speak English to us. That's why I made the point that, they also know how to say, góðan dag and takk fyrir, these are just two, like simple phrases, but, it's important that when they see some Icelandic, they can greet them. I'm just grateful, what Iceland has done for me, It's not perfect, but, I have so much to be grateful for. Even if it means it will take me, like, for the rest of my life to learn the language, to learn Icelandic, then I would do that, But I just really want to learn it the correct way. Pronouncing it, that's quite challenging.
Já, takk, gott, mjög gott, gjör svo vel, gaman að sjá þig, eins og maður
Mér finnst eitt smá vandamál hérna á Íslandi. Íslandingar, ef þau sjá fólk ekki skilja íslensku, þau svona strax byrja að ensku. Ég var að hugsa svo mikið hvað ég var að gera ef koma til dæmis fólk frá Filippseyjar eða frá Pólland að vinna hjá okkur. Þá allir bara segja, senda bara í uppvaski. Ég var að byrja að vinna eins og uppvaskikona og ég var bara fyrst bara að hugsa, ef ég var byrja að vera verslunarstjóri, þá ég bara kenna aðeins service. Núna daginn í dag, ef eitthvað koma frá útlöndum, til dæmis svo Pólandi eða Filippseyjar vinna hjá okkur, þá best fara og kenna afgreiðslu. Af því fólk koma að versla hjá okkur og þau tala íslensku. Þá þú fá enga choice byrja að tala íslensku, sko. Þú þarf telja, þú þarf segja hvað kostar á íslensku og basic orð líka eins og góðan daginn og allt svona, sko. Ég held það best ef Íslendingar byrja að tala meira íslensku með útlendingar. Ekki byrja að tala strax ensku.